Now, 4157. If we take this, and we had 6,000 years, we come to 1844. Does that surprise you? October 23, 1844, mind you. And this just shocked me. What happened the day before? Christ entered the most holy place. What do we say? What day are we living in again? The Day of Atonement? Is the Day of Atonement still happening? So what day are we in? October 22, right? Because October 22, it says time is what? No longer. SDA Bible Commentary. I'm going to remind you of this statement. This time, which the angel declares with a solemn oath, is not the end of this world's history. Now do you get it? Neither of probationary time, because we're still here. But of what? Prophetic time. If we are calculating 6,000 years, that is prophetic time. And it says at the bottom, the longest reckoning, would 6,000 be the longest? Reaches to the autumn of 1844. Now do you understand what she's trying to say here? She said Miller found the chronologies and that it was prophecy. And the longest reckoning reaches to 1844. But that's not the end of the world's history. It's just the end of prophetic time. And we're in the tarrying time of that vision of the 10 virgins. We're in the Day of Atonement. Do you see how important this Day of Atonement, this hour of his judgment, the first angel's message is? Do you see the connection here? So on the historic timeline, we have the Day of Atonement, 1844, October 22. And have you noticed that in reference to the people that we are in our time, it says 11th hour workers, Christ will come at midnight. It's all terms within one day. And when Michael stands up, because the Day of Atonement was one day in the antitypical service, and Christ went into the most holy place on October 22, so when he leaves there, then what day is it? October 23. We are living in the antitypical Day of Atonement. And this is one of those second witnesses to 1844. We need more than one, because between 2 or 3, a thing is established. Did you know that this was point number 1 in the True Midnight Cry message that was given in 1844? Did you know that the 6,000 years was the main thing that they were talking about? And they understood when the 6,000 years ended. And if we did today, no more time setting, because Jesus is coming today. Today is the day of what? Salvation. Literally. Let me read you this short snippet. Deducting from 6,000 years, the remainder is 1843 and a fraction. Therefore, the period will end within AD 1844. When I read that, it blew my mind. Because we're running around, setting new dates, changing times, and Jesus has been trying to tell us, I'm waiting on you. The only thing holding Christ from coming is us. because we're not ready, because we're not living in acknowledgement of where Christ is. We need to be about our Father's business, amen? We are in the tarrying time, we are in borrowed time. And in 1844, what was the message? I want to come get you. This is such amazing truths that we have lost. This midnight cry message would shut down all of these winds of doctrine if we just looked at it. Everybody here needs to go and read Samuel Snow's The True Midnight Cry. There's 5 points. The True Midnight Cry. If you look up this reference, TRMC 1, then that will come up. And you will see the amazing things that they were preaching. And Ellen White said that in 1842 to 44, there was more truth than ever in all of history. And for some reason, we're in denial of the light from behind. That midnight cry message that we are supposed to be giving with more power. Was the 6,000 years does not say when Christ is coming, it's telling us when the Day of Atonement starts. In the type, it was how many days? 1. How patient is God with us? He could have done 1 day to match, but he decided to leave it open because he knew we are asleep, because he doesn't want to pronounce judgment on any of us who are not ready